Can we delve a little bit deeper into, out of curiosity, his choice of teams? Bears, Saints, Cowboys, Raiders. How do you make sense of that? I mean, it makes more sense in, depending on how Drew Brees wants to look at this season. Saints, Cowboys, we could see that. Raiders, Bears, what do you think, Peter?
The Saints make all the sense in the world because if you're a quarterback, who wouldn't want to play for Sean Payton? Suzy, 2 years ago, in November of what would have been 19, I forget. No, it would have been November of 18. I sat in the quarterback or in the offensive meeting room Saturday night before a Philadelphia-New Orleans game, and I watched as Sean Payton and Drew Brees and the offensive staff sat there, and they went over every play in the offensive game plan. Brees saying, I like this, I don't like this, I like this. And it's basically called the Black Dot meeting because in that meeting, Drew Brees, Sean Payton puts a black dot next to the plays that Brees really likes. And I think the night I was there was 40-some-odd plays, let's say 43, 45, something like that Peyton put the black dot next to him. And we're walking out of the meeting, and I asked Sean, I said, how many of those plays do you think you'll call tomorrow? And he said, I hope every one. And so, I get the feeling that Russell Wilson does not have that relationship with his coaching staff. So who wouldn't want a relationship with your head coach where the head coach says, what do you want to run tomorrow? And you tell him, and then basically the next day he calls those plays. So I think that is something that Russell Wilson would love to have, as would almost every quarterback. But, the one outlier in that list really seems like the Bears because, look, how much are you going to have to trade to get Russell Wilson? Suzy, they got the 20th pick in the draft. That's certainly not as valuable as, say, the Jets at 2 or Miami at 3. That's why that one really stuck out to me. Who are they going to – they don't have a quarterback to trade to Seattle unless they could get Seattle to take Nick Foles. Now, and that's not impossible, but that certainly doesn't have the value. He's not going to be your long-term quarterback. That's the only one that really stuck out and was a little bit quizzical to me.
The Deshaun Watson difference, of course, being that, number one, he's 25. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson, you just think it's been so long. They have won a Super Bowl. They've been back. I'm curious about the difference, and we'll segue into the Deshaun Watson side after this, but I get it. I think that it's hard for Russell Wilson at his age and with his stature. He sees these younger kids being listened to more than he is. And it could be something as simple as that. It's him just putting his foot down and saying, I want to be heard. Yeah,
look, I think this is multi-layered. I think this has to do with the fact that what is he, he gets Man of the Year this year, which is great, and he's wanted to win Man of the Year for some time. But although he won Man of the Year, he goes and sits in Roger Goodell's box at the Super Bowl, and he looks miserable because he's watching Tom Brady at age 43 have exactly what he wants. Tom Brady having a say with Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians in everything that they do. Tom Brady parachuting into a team with tremendous offensive talent. And Russell Wilson has got to be watching that game with a little sense of envy, saying, you know what, if I were in Tom Brady's shoes, I would have won the Super Bowl this year. And I'm sure a lot of quarterbacks could say that, but you know what? Russell Wilson is probably right. He could have won the Super Bowl with that supporting cast this year. But I think he just has a little bit of envy when he looks at a lot of quarterback situations around the league and sees things that he doesn't have.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.